Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just having a little smudgy smudge. Clear the energy. Make space for the visualizations to occur. Just wait for a few people to jump on. See that burning over there. Okay, so good morning and welcome to this guided meditation and visualization journey to meet your inner mystic. So if you've been around my world, if you're on my email list, if you're in my Facebook group, if you're on any of my social media channels, then you may have been aware of all my postings around awakening your inner mystic and interacting and connecting with your higher self and all of the magical things I've been talking about recently. Good morning, Karen. Lovely to see you here. Yeah, so if you've been in my world, you've been noticing I've been talking about a lot of woo-woo stuff, a lot of magic stuff, a lot of witchy stuff. And as you can see, I've got my very pagan witchy dress on today. You should see the rest of it. It's got a massive pentagram. And I seem to have moons on my nipples, but we'll just ignore that. So I really wanted to lead this meditation because I wanted to give anyone a chance who wasn't so in touch with their inner magic, a chance to really meet the part of them that is pure source energy, that is pure magic, pure divine, that has all of these gifts and talents and powers, and who's just sitting waiting to just step into the light and burst out and claim the power that they know that you're so capable of. So I wanted to lead this meditation to help you meet that part of yourself, to help you refamiliarize yourself with the magic that you have within you, and hopefully that will spark some kind of bringing of your inner magic to the front, to the forefront, and into your fingertips, so you're able to welcome more magic into your life. So if you would like to get yourself comfy, if you need a blanket or a drink of water or a crystal or anything like that, then feel free to grab that now. And if not, then just get yourself comfy. You can be seated, you can be lying down, it's completely up to you. I do not recommend standing, I do not recommend driving, and I do not recommend using any kind of machinery or knives or weapons while you're doing this meditation. I don't know why you would, but if you could please pop all of those away now, including any mobile phones or technology that might go off during the meditation, apart from obviously the one that you are looking at, that you are watching the video on. So just get yourself comfortable, wiggle yourself round into the surface below, into the bed or chair or sofa, and just really get comfy in there. And then I invite you to just slowly bring your attention inwards and close your eyes when you're ready, and just bring your attention to your breath, starting to notice what your breath is doing, starting to notice your chest rising and falling. Noticing the breath moving in and out of your nose or your mouth, the cool air as it passes through, in and out. Not trying to change anything yet, just observing, just being mindful of your natural in and out. And then when you're ready, just bring some intention to this breath and start to breathe in through the nose, holding it for a moment, and then breathe out fully and completely through your mouth. So breathing in through the nose holding, and then breathing out through the mouth. And on that exhale, I really want you to push all of that oxygen out of your lungs, make an audible noise, an audible sigh, really dropping those shoulders back and really pushing all of that oxygen out of your lungs. So breathing in through the nose, holding for a moment, and then breathing out fully and completely through the mouth. Big audible sigh, dropping those shoulders back. Again, in through the nose, hold, and out through the mouth. Once more, in through the nose, hold, and then out through the mouth. Now just relax into this breathing as we continue, bringing your attention into the rest of your body, noticing any aches and pains, any areas of discomfort, being sure not to judge, just sending these areas blessings and healing and love. And now take your attention further down to the soles of your feet. And I invite you to visualize roots growing out from the soles of your feet and traveling through whatever surface there is below, through any floorboards, any carpets, any ground beneath you. Visualize these roots penetrating the outer surface of Mother Earth, extending these roots through the layers of earth, past all the other roots, extending them through all the layers of soil, of sand, of sediment. Visualize them extending through all the different layers of rock formations, all the layers of earth, extending further and further down towards the center of our Great Mother. And once you reach the center, visualize a giant healing crystal waiting for you. Imagine your roots wrapping themselves around this giant healing, grounding crystal, wrapping themselves around all the way, covering all the surface. And with each in-breath, visualize the energy from this crystal traveling up into your roots, drawing this energy up through your roots, past all the different layers of earth, of rock, breathing in and drawing this energy up further, drawing this energy up past the rock formations, past the layers of sediment and sand and soil, drawing this healing, earthly, grounding energy up past all the other roots, through the surface of Mother Earth, drawing it up past any other layers of floorboards or concrete or carpet. Breathing this rich grounding energy up into the soles of your feet. Visualizing this earthly energy filling your toes and your heels, filling your ankles. Drawing this rich grounding energy up through your calves and your shins, drawing it up past your knees, up through your thighs, and finally breathing this rich grounding energy into your pelvic region, just allowing it to settle here and taking a couple of deep breaths into this feeling, into this rich grounding energy. Breathing that earthly energy up all the way down from that healing crystal, breathing it up through all your roots, all the layers of earth, and into your soles of your feet. Breathing it up through your legs and into your pelvis. Just sit in this energy for a moment, really feeling that connection between you and Mother Earth. Breathing into this feeling of being supported, being held, being rooted in to our Great Mother. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now, the more we are rooted in to our Great Mother, the higher we can fly through the spiritual realms. And that's exactly where we'll be going in this guided meditation. So if you need to take a couple more deep breaths into this rooting energy, into this earthly grounding energy, then do so now. But know that no matter how high we fly today, you will always be held by Mother Earth. You will always be tethered to this physical realm by your physical body and the connection that you have with Mother Earth and this giant healing crystal. Breathing into this knowing. And now that we are really rooted in, it's time to begin the journey to meet your inner mystic. Now you can call your inner mystic whatever you like, really. You can call it a mystic, your higher self, divine inspiration. You could call it a witch. You could call it a goddess. It doesn't matter what name you call it. It is part of you. It is part of the divine. So now I invite you to visualize yourself standing in front of a cupboard door, a cloakroom, a broom closet, a type door like that. It can be one in your home, one that you're familiar with, or it can be one that you just build up in your imagination. Really build the image of this door up in your mind. What's it made from? How big it is? Is it a one door or a two door that opens in the middle? Does it have a handle? Does it have any decorations on it? What color is it? Really visualize this door. And then when you've got the visualization clear in your mind, reach out and open this door. Now on the other side of this door is a collection of broomsticks. Now I invite you to take a look around this collection of broomsticks, carefully examining each one, familiarizing yourself with the different options in this room. Maybe they're different sizes, maybe they're different materials, maybe they're different colors, maybe they're different shapes. Maybe some of them are simple and some of them are fancy and ornate. Once you have fully acquainted yourself with the broomsticks, invite one of them to step forward and offer themselves up to you. Take a moment to introduce yourself. Allow it to offer up a name for itself if it so chooses. And begin to notice the qualities of this broomstick that has come forward. The material, the size, any bits that are unique or unexpected. Touch it, feel how it feels under your skin. Is it smooth or rough or knobbly? Once you are well acquainted with your chosen broomstick, it begins to move and head towards the back of the closet, beckoning you energetically to follow it. As you step past the other broomsticks and into the darkness of the closet, you notice that the closet is much deeper than you anticipated. You carry on walking, trusting that the broomstick is taking you somewhere important. After a few more paces, you begin to feel something brushing past you as you walk, tickling you and lightly scratching at your arms. A few more paces later, and a dull light begins to illuminate your surroundings. It is then that you notice you are surrounded by trees in a dense forest. The further through the forest you walk, the more light begins to dapple through the trees, exposing more and more of your surroundings. You reach the edge of the tree line and are greeted by a large meadow. Your broomstick that has been gently leading the way presents itself in front of you and energetically invites you to sit on it, however feels most comfortable for you. You can straddle it and mount it or sit side saddle. It's completely up to you, whatever feels comfortable. And once you are comfortable, hold the intention to begin to hover. Maybe at this point a magical phrase comes to you to assist with this. But if not, don't worry. Now that you are settled in this hovered position, the broomstick begins to take off, very gently at first, then it gradually begins soaring up, higher over the ground below. You feel the wind rushing past you, but you aren't scared. You just have an inner knowing that this broomstick is pure magic and will carry you safely on this journey ahead of you. Now that you are up high in the sky, take a look at your surroundings. What do you see? Take it all in. Are there any particular plants or trees that stand out? Any animals or landmarks that you notice? Really take it all in. As you are looking around, you suddenly notice something far off in the distance. It looks like some sort of large magical garden, surrounded by high walls and an elegant gait. You travel towards it, and your broomstick begins to descend towards this magnificent gateway, bringing the ground closer and closer up, feeling the rush of air against your skin. You gently land back down on the ground, right in front of this glorious gateway. You dismount from your broomstick, thanking for its protection, and approach the gate. Take a moment to really build this gate up in your mind, really visualize it in all its details. How big is this gate? What is it made from? Is it wooden or metal? Is it golden or silver or bronze? Or is it another colour? Is it elaborate or simple? Really visualize all the details. And when you have built the image of this gate up in your mind, open the gate and walk through the gateway into the magical garden. Make sure you close the gate behind you to maintain the magical energy within. On the other side of the gate, you are greeted by an animal. Take a minute to notice what animal has come to greet you. Introduce yourself to the animal and see if it has a name for you. Don't worry if it doesn't. This creature, this animal, your new acquaintance, now invites you to follow him or her through the garden, through your magical garden. It leads you round lots of paths and openings, past lots of magical plants and trees and water features and statues. What comes up for you as you're walking through this garden? What do you see? Take a minute to notice anything significant, anything that's really drawing your eye. And remember, you can always come back to this garden any time in the future. This is your own personal magical garden. It'll be waiting for you whenever you want to return. Now you've been walking through the garden, you now see what looks like a maze or a labyrinth. It's made of perfectly carved hedges, trimmed to perfection, with twists and turns. Your animal leads you into the labyrinth, and you follow it gently round all the corners, round all the entrances, moving swiftly. Not once do you ever feel lost, because your broomstick is also following you. And you know that if you ever get lost in this garden, your broomstick is there beside you to take you wherever you want to go. Now you approach the center of your labyrinth. And in the center, there is a bench waiting for you. Your animal invites you to sit down on your bench, and then it wanders back off into the labyrinth. Your broomstick just plops itself down beside you, but you know it's there, so you feel comfortable and safe. And as you are sitting on this bench, taking in the beautiful sky and the hedges of this labyrinth, someone appears round the corner of one of the hedges. This is your inner mystic. This is the part of you that is pure, divine, magical source energy. They approach you with a beaming smile on her face. She is so pleased to see you. She is so pleased that you have finally come to find her, that you are ready to know her and to embrace her. I will leave you alone with your inner mystic for a few moments, giving you time to ask her any questions, to receive any gifts she has for you, any physical gifts, any symbolic gifts, any words of wisdom. It is nearly time to say goodbye to your inner mystic, to see if she has any last words of wisdom or a last gift for you. Now that she has imparted everything that she wants to for the time being, embrace her, holding her close. And as you are in this embrace, her energy melts into yours as you draw her into yourself, and you are reunited as one energetic being again. This is now your natural state, holding your inner mystic inside you where she belongs, knowing that all of her wisdom and insight is now your wisdom and insight. Any questions that you have going forward, know that they are within you, that they are inside you. All you need do is tap into your inner mystic and ask your questions, ask for guidance, ask for healing. Hold yourself in a loving embrace for a moment, knowing, sitting with this knowing that all you need is already within you, that you are a pure and powerful being, that you are capable of magical things. Just take a moment to sit with this knowing, to sit with this energy, to know that your inner mystic is always with you. She never left and she never will leave. All of her is all of you. Fully embody this knowing so that you may take it back with you to the physical realm, to your physical body, and begin to stand in this power. So take in your surroundings for one last time, on this journey anyway, knowing you can always come back. And begin to work your way through the labyrinth. Never once feeling confused about which way to go, just following your instinct, your intuition, leading the way, using your inner mystic as an internal compass. And after a few twists and turns through this labyrinth, you find one of the exits and you walk out into the glorious garden once more, making your way back towards the gate, past all of the other magical things in this garden. You see the animal you met earlier off in the distance, and you give them a little wave, knowing that you can come back and speak to them anytime you like. You see the gate now and you head towards the gate, turning around to take in one last view of the garden. Open the gate and step through to the other side. Your broomstick follows you out and you close the gate behind you. You take your broomstick in your hand and you mount it, this time feeling much more confident and comfortable about what's in store once you get on the broomstick. It begins to hover and it begins to gently lift you up into the air, gathering speed, feeling the rush of wind beneath you. feeling the cool air on your skin. Traveling over the same ground you saw before, but just feeling a little different inside, feeling a little more whole, a little more inspired. Flying over the scenery below. You see the meadow in which you first got on your broomstick, and you begin to gradually lower down towards the grass, towards the flowers. Gently approaching the grass, you land softly at the tree line. Dismount from your broomstick and begin to walk back through the forest, past all the familiar trees. You know you are getting closer and closer to the back of the closet because the light slowly begins to dim, the trees get denser, and before you know it, you are surrounded by all of the other broomsticks. You thank your broomstick for taking you on this magical journey, knowing that it's there anytime you want to fly off to a different realm or back to your garden. And when you are ready, I invite you to open the door from the closet back into your home, back into the present moment, back into your body. Open the door, close it behind you. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, rubbing the palms of your hands together. Rubbing the palms of your hands on your thighs, squeezing your arms, making sure that you're fully back into your body. And on the count of 3, you'll open your eyes, feeling grounded, present, and refreshed. 1, 2, 3. Now take a sip of water. Water is super grounding. And then just, if you need to come back into your body a bit more, just roll your shoulders up, have a stretch. Really coming back into the body. Squeezing yourself, loving yourself. So I hope you all enjoyed meeting your inner mystic. That visualization was jam-packed with symbolism. If you're familiar with symbolism, then you might have already noticed a few of the things pop up along the way and begun interpreting them. If you're not, I advise you to just take a few minutes after this video or later on today to just journal on your experience during that visualization. All of the things that came up for you, from what your broomstick looked like and the qualities of your broomstick, to what you saw when you were up in the air, what plants stood out, what trees stood out, what animals stood out, what landmarks stood out. What animal greeted you at the gates of your garden? What animal greeted you? Did they give you a name? Does that name have any significance, any meaning? What does that animal signify or represent? Anything that you came across in your garden, any particular flowers or trees or statues that mean anything? And then anything that your inner mystic had to say to you, any words, any insight, any gifts, anything at all, those could all be symbolic representations. If you are unfamiliar with symbolism, then Guru Google is full of interpretations of all different kinds of symbols, from colors to signs to body language to plants and trees and animals. Everything has a different symbolic meaning. I would advise you to feel into what each thing symbolizes for you before you go and ask Guru Google, because what something means to you might be different from what Google tells you it means, and therefore I would trust what you think it means before you trust what Google thinks it means. Awakening your inner mystic is all about tuning into your own internal magic, your own powers, your own intuition, your own inner knowing. And if we ask Google before we ask ourselves, then we are denying ourselves the opportunity to use our inner magic first and foremost. So often I've found that when I have asked myself what something means, Google has confirmed what it means, and therefore, blown my mind, telling me that it means the same thing that I thought it meant, which is always a nice confirmation of your magic. And so the symbolism is quite important in this visualization, and I use symbolism in my everyday life. If something keeps repeating in your life, taking notice of that and what that means symbolically. If colors keep appearing to you, what does that color represent? Anything like that. So if you have experienced some symbolism that you don't really understand, maybe you want to pop it in the comments and I can have a go at shedding some light on what that symbol means for me, or what I feel that symbol might mean for you at this time. I was in a visualization last week, all about prosperity and abundance. And in my meditation, I was given some pearls. At the time, I didn't really entirely know the significance of pearls, other than pearls of wisdom, maybe. So I was like, okay, I'm being given some wisdom. But then when I looked up the significance of the symbolism of pearls, it was all about wealth and fertility and abundance and the cycles of life. And I was like, my mind was blown, because obviously the visualization was all about prosperity and abundance. And I was given pearls, which were all about wealth and abundance. So that was really magical for me to experience. So let me know in the comments if you've had any symbols come up, any colors, any objects or items given to you, any particular plants that were super vivid in your imagination, or any types of trees. What was your broomstick like? I'd love to know what your broomstick like. I have a couple of broomsticks down here. I love my broomsticks. I've got my normal, regular, super witchy one, and then I've got my sparkly one, because who doesn't need a sparkly broom, right? It's all sparkly. My friends bought me this one when I was having a down day many years ago. So maybe you want to go out and buy yourself a broomstick to represent your broomstick. And did you have any names? Does your broomstick have a name? Does your animal have a name? Because names are very symbolic as well. I once in a meditation met my spirit dragon. He told me his name was Solaris. He was a massive golden dragon, and he was basically teaching me all about being confident and taking action. And then I looked up the name Solaris, and it means of the sun. And obviously he was a massive golden dragon that was like so blinding, like the sun. And I was like, wow, that's super cool. So names can be cool as well. So Karen saying, this is amazing, Bella. I have a lot of journaling to do. I have some symbols. First thing was a magnifying glass, then a book, At the end, I was given a big gold key. Oh, that is juicy. That is juicy. So immediately the magnifying glass is telling me that you need to look closely at something, right? There's something in your life that you are ignoring and that you're not focusing on and that you're not giving enough attention to. So the magnifying glass, that's super, super potent and juicy. I reckon that's got to be to do with, some area of focus that you're ignoring, and you really need to zoom in to have a little look at that. A book's interesting. That could just be about knowledge and wisdom in general. It depends. Did the book have a name? Did it have a topic or anything like that? And then given a big cold gold key. So the keys quite obviously representing unlocking something and opening up to new stuff. So you're clearly going through some kind of a gateway. You're clearly up leveling, embracing something new, opening the door to something new in your life. So it could be quite directly to do with opening up your awareness of your inner mystic and embracing your inner mystic, or it could be something else in your life that you're opening up to. Or keys could also be to do with unlocking perhaps like boxes of things that we've been ignoring or suppressing. So I quite like to look at my baggage and my traumas and my challenges as like these little boxes that I've collected in my life. And some of the boxes, have been like shoved down to the bottom or inside a whole bunch of other boxes. And some boxes are, wide open and completely empty because I've dealt with all of the shit inside them. And some boxes are like buried at the back of the closet because I don't want to deal with them, and just like bringing them forward, unlocking them, dealing with the shit inside, working your way through them, etc. So there could be two meanings for the key. The name of my broom was Broom. Nice, original, I like it. Simple, keep it simple sometimes. After the book, I was told you can get to the heart of the matter. Oh, nice. I like it. I like it. Sounds great. So yeah, if anyone else watches this on the replay or anything and you have any symbolism that you want to share with us, I'd love to hear about that as well. I love analyzing symbols, dream symbology, life symbology, visualization symbology, tarot. That's one of the reasons I'm so in love with the tarot, is because it's just a card full of symbols that just waiting for me to interpret them. And what one symbol meant to me yesterday could mean a completely different thing to me today. And so it's like peeling back the layers. I don't know if any of you have ever read Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials, but in there's a particular instrument called the alethiometer, and it's a bunch of symbols that you use to help answer questions and get insight, right? But each symbol has layers of meaning, and he describes it as like climbing down a ladder to get to the next layer of meaning. And I really love that because symbolism is fascinating to me, and it really is about peeling back the different layers. And you know one meaning yesterday, a different meaning today, and a different meaning tomorrow, all for the same thing, all for the same person. For different people, it has different meanings. So symbolism is fascinating to me. So if you're interested in diving a bit more into symbolism, into really awakening your inner mystic and embracing her on a deeper level, then feel free to check out my next program, Awaken Your Inner Mystic. It starts on Monday, the 26th of April, and it's 5 days long, a session each evening. So it starts at 5:30 p.m. British summertime. I'll pop the link in the comments if anyone wants to check it out, but the link will be in a lot of my social media posts and a lot of my emails at the moment. If I saw a male gardener before the mystic, what might that mean? Well, that depends. Was the male gardener your inner mystic? Because maybe it's about embracing your inner masculine as well, something like that. But if it was the male gardener was separate from the inner mystic, then maybe it was just like your subconscious telling you that there is someone tending to your magical garden that you don't have to worry about, that there's other people. We all have a spiritual entourage made up of spirit guides, spirit animals, ancestors, etc., etc. So maybe this gardener was just one of your spirit guides or your spiritual entourage who's like you're tending to your inner world for you. It could be something like that. So that's lovely. I love that you have a male gardener. It's like your inner divine masculine tending to your magical garden inside. That's really beautiful. I love that. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll answer them later. If you're catching this on the replay, then also let me know your experience. I'd absolutely love to hear about it. I love picking apart the symbology, so really, really let me know. The male gardener was separate, but it's interesting as I thought he was the mystic at first, and my animal was a fox. Oh, lovely. So foxes are known for being quite cunning and clever and intelligent. So that's nice that you got a fox. I love foxes. They remind me of me and my red hair. So yeah, look up some of these meanings and see if you can find out the different layers of them, because I'm sure foxes have more meaning than just being intelligent and cunning, and I'm sure keys have more meaning than just, unlocking a different level. um so feel into what they mean for you. Maybe even try drawing them and seeing if different meanings unfold, and then looking them up in books and on websites and asking other people what they mean for them. And it begins to, yeah, really peel back different layers. You are most welcome. You are most welcome. So thank you everyone for tuning in to this meditation today, and I'll pop the link in for the program if you want to check it out. And much love and infinite blessings from me. I look forward to seeing any more comments about symbolism, because it, yeah, really excites me. All right, I hope you have a lovely day, everyone, and much love and infinite blessings from me. Bye.